Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not.
Hi, Aunt.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've decided to move permanently to New Jersey for just
What
forever.
was that like? Franklin Lakes or something that she lived?
No, she lived in Totowa, I think. Totowa.
Oh, that's right. I miss that old house. Look at it. It is so gaudy.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I mean, you know what? When I look at that house behind you, all I can think about is the old troll. And when Melania lost the cell phone in the water, and
Oh, yeah.
and she put on like the waders and stuff to go help her dad.
Do you know
And you
what's so
know what?
sad?
What?
All I think about, it's so morbid,
What?
is Joe's dad dying on the side of the house when he was walking from around.
Oh,
Remember they found him after having the heart attack? That's what they said?
oh yeah. He was a good guy, Giuseppe. He's
Yeah.
another
No,
Giuseppe, I
no,
think.
no.
No
No,
was
it's Teresa's dad.
Teresa's, yeah. Who knows? Anyways, we're talking about Vanderpump Rules right
Of
now,
course.
not Jersey, but in the mid, let's face it. Okay, since we're on Jersey, there was a preview for Jersey, and it does
was
look
fine.
good. May 5th, May 5th, May 5th, May 5th.
I'll be interested to see what they do. I don't like this whole let's talk about Teresa, but not see Teresa. Let's talk about Melissa, but not see Melissa. Like, I just think like that's gonna be harder for viewers. I don't even get me started.
I know, but it was great to see
What
it's
do you
coming
think
back.
about Vanderpump?
Oh, well, you know what? All I thought about is they were all narcissists. Every one of them. Totally. From
Well,
beginning
what
to
do you mean?
end.
Actually, I want to hear that. Narcissism and being egotistical is different.
Oh, well, narcissists just think it's all about them all the time, and they do gaslight a little bit.
So who do you think's a narcissist?
Sandoval.
Of course.
Okay, he's a
But I think
full-on
the other ones
narcissist.
just have egos.
No. I'm talking about the show as a whole. Stasi was a complete narcissist.
But she got off the
Katie-
show.
Right. Okay. Because they kicked her off, not because she left.
Okay.
Katie is very narcissistic. Oh, Katie's just nasty when you think about Katie.
What?
James is a narcissist.
Wait. What do you know what the definition of narcissism is?
What's the definition of narcissism?
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Well, there are different kinds too. There's different kinds of narcissists. There's covert narcissists. There's
I just think there's a difference between a narcissist and having an ego.
They're all narcissists.
I don't know. The definition of narcissism is different than what you're thinking. Because I think that the definition of a narcissist is personality qualities include thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others.
Oh, they all have that. They all do.
Watch the same show?
You know about Vanderpump Rules? The only one.
Do we watch the same one?
Yeah. The only one who isn't is Scheana. She's not, but maybe she is.
Wait. Tell me how Lala's a narcissist.
She thinks she's superior to everybody else.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't say it. When has she ever said that?
She has a superiority quality to her. When she first
came but it's not at other people's expense.
Oh, so it has to be at somebody else's expense?
Yeah, like I think you can have an ego and some people don't want to. Like I have a big ego. I tell people lately I'm in my ego era. Okay. I am.
Oh, God.
I am. I think I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
I'm gonna go that I think that they all have
I think they all have ego complex.
How about this? I'm going to change that, what I said. I think they all have narcissistic tendencies. How's that?
But see, I think I just don't know how you say that because Katie, for example, has had a lot of vulnerable moments on the show where she's been wrong. She also doesn't gloat. Like I think there's a difference between, because like I read something recent, or Sandoval keeps saying, we'll get into it, but like his scene with Lala, like it just was pain. It was painful to watch them all explaining to Tom like why it was like it was like they were dragging him.
And they are dragging him constantly. Like enough already. And I want to tell you,
what do you mean enough already?
It's enough already. I'm over it. It's been a year.
Yeah, but he never has taken responsibility. Like he said, he just said, I'm sorry. So now we need a few more steps. How about I'll never do it again?
Oh, he can't promise you that.
That's a promise. How about this? If you really want to improve your friendships, how can I make it better? How can I make it up to you?
Well,
That's responsibility.
I want to
I'm
tell you
sorry
though,
is a statement. Okay.
I
I'll
watched.
never do it again is saying a promise of what they won't do. How do I make it up to you? That is taking responsibility for your actions.
Okay, I watched an old episode this week because they had old Vanderpump on, and when Tom and Kristen broke up, and
Okay.
Ariana was in the picture now. It was around the time of Scheana Shea's first wedding to Shea.
Mhm.
She was trying to cut out everybody at the time too. I don't want Scheana here. I'm not Scheana. I don't want Kristen here. She's making me uncomfortable at Sheena's wedding and all that. So I could see that she's doing the same thing now, but she was in the middle of the storm last time, and now she's outside the storm and she's still treating them the same way. I can
Who?
see it, Ariana.
But Ariana, I think we're going to see in front of us is that I have a
Because
feeling you're going to start to
Ariana,
see her be okay with people that are friends with both.
well, she
She
has
just
to.
doesn't want to have it interfere in her world. I had this situation happen with a friend recently that, like, a former friend of mine that they're still friends with, I don't want anything to do with. They're
Right.
racist, they're anti-Semitic. I don't like them. I hate them.
Okay.
I don't care that my other friend is friends with this person still. That's their choice.
Of
I just
course.
don't want that trash around me.
I get it. Totally.
Now,
That's called
my
boundaries.
yeah, and so what I think is that, like, Ariana needs to take kind of like walk back a little bit, and she needs to go to Scheana. Clearly, Katie is not even at close to a point yet of welcoming Sandoval back, so
No,
you don't
but
have to
she
worry
always
about
hated
Katie. But you
Sandoval.
don't have to worry about Katie.
But
But
they've
the
always
others,
had issues. I'll never worry about
yeah.
Katie. She'll be fine.
But what and that makes sense. She dated Tom's business partner, or was
Yeah.
engaged, married
Right.
to Tom's business partner. She's
Yes.
always been close with Ariana. They've kind of that's why I also think Ariana's feelings towards Schwartz are like kind of in its own category. I think it's the middle people. It's like James, Lala, Scheana, where Ariana is going to have to
Have
maybe more
some.
for Scheana than James and Ariana and then Lala, but she's
Yeah.
gonna have to go to Scheana and be like, I liberate you. As long as you are not bringing him around me, and
Right.
as long as you don't ever compromise your loyalty to me, I can deal, and I have space for you to have your own friendship because I trust you as a friend that you're not going to welcome him back into your life unless you feel safe and comfortable. And therefore, I'm telling you that I respect you for feeling safe and comfortable. You have to respect me for feeling safe and comfortable because that friend brought the person around me. And I said, not happening. I don't care if you're friends with the person, but don't cross my boundaries. I don't want that near me. And Ariana needs to clarify that. That's all I'll say.
However, I'm going to say this. I know a lot of people who've broken up through the years, whether they were dating, married, whatever. In every single situation, one keeps the friends, the other one's gone. That's just the way it goes. It's very, very rare that you maintain friendships with both people in a friend circle when that couple breaks up. This friend group is completely different than most. They've all stayed friends when people break up.
Yeah, but
So
I
they're
think
a
the
little
difference
bit
here
different
is,
than the dynamic is very different in this group because Ariana was with Tom was with Kristen.
yeah, but
Stassi is
no, no,
still
no, no, no.
around. She was with
Ariana got with
Jax.
Tom.
Lala was with Jax.
Ariana
Jax.
came on the show as a new cast member, and then she got with Tom within that season, like first right away.
But they're
Kristen,
still part of the
Stassi,
group.
and Kristen,
You keep on making excuses for these people. I think
I'm
they're
not
all in the
making
same boat.
excuses. What I'm telling you is that Rachel came on the show, dated James, got engaged to James, then got super close with Ariana and Tom,
Right.
super
Right.
close with Scheana, was
Yes.
kind of like, I needed help, I need support, I need your money, I need your love, I need your home, I need your friendship. And then she took the guy. It's a whole different ballgame. If
Okay. But what
Ariana
I
went
am
on
saying,
and was playing the victim and was friends with Kristen and Tom when they were together, built a very solid friendship with Kristen, and then did what she did, she wouldn't even have been in the relationship with Tom because fans would have cut her out of the show at that moment.
however, what I am saying is, in my experience in life,
Mhm.
when a couple breaks up, very rarely do both of those people remain in their friend group. One goes, the other stays. You don't see it in this friend group.
No, because they're all getting paid about $1 million to be on a show together.
That, but that changes the dynamic because normally this doesn't happen.
That's why I give Raquel credit. She chose
to
her
leave
health over a
cash.
paycheck.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
And based on the numbers on her podcast, she's making more money than she made on Vanderpump.
Probably because she wasn't making much on Vanderpump at all.
Now, she probably gives Bethany a pretty penny of that because it's on Bethany's network. Bethany produced it.
Good for Bethany.
But she still made a very conscious choice. I think the difference too is that you have to remember social media has changed so much since the Golden Nugget and the Makeout and Miami Girl.
Everything is different.
It was like just Twitter and
podcasts.
Facebook.
Everybody has a podcast
podcasts,
now.
Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all these things where people can share content. So I just think that has a lot to do with it. But what I will say is that what I will say about Lala is that and I hear where she's coming from. Lala withheld information about Randall, but Randall was not a cast member on the show.
True.
Lala, and that's the same thing that I think we're seeing with Sutton and Kyle on Beverly Hills, is that like Mauricio loved the cameras. Sutton's husband ex-husband didn't. Right, and I don't even think if they were married, that I don't think she would have come on the show if they were married.
I agree.
I think that he's like Uba's boyfriend.
Right.
I think Uba's boyfriend will come now. He has no choice. But I could see before how someone maybe in finance or someone that has a job that just doesn't
legit and
align
isn't
well
looking for publicity, that doesn't require publicity, because Mauricio benefits from the publicity because somebody watches the show and they go, oh, I'm going to call the agency.
It's all about choices. It's all about choices. The minute that you dip your toe into the pool of filming, your personal life is that boundary is off limits. And that's the person that signs up. Now, the people in their life, they have a choice. Do they want to jump to the dark side and put that mic on, or do they want to keep their privacy?
But some of them have navigated it in a way that they're rarely on. Example, Harry Hamlin was rarely on. He'd come in, make some bolognese, and then you wouldn't see him again for the rest of the season.
Exactly. So I guess it's how much you want to film too.
Yes.
But I will say, imagine Tom Girardi made a choice to come on the show.
Yes, he did.
Allow Erica to go on the show. And that's why I always say I don't think Erica knew, because I feel like Tom was like, if that would have been a conversation. And I don't think Tom wanted her to go on the show, but I think he had no choice. He either let me tell my wife what we do with our money and how it's made and what we put it towards, and then she won't want to go on the show.
Well, we can talk about that in Beverly Hills because I want to discuss that.
I'm just making the comparison that like Tom Sandoval is trying to hold Lala accountable first and foremost for a time in her life when she was a drunk mess.
Yes.
And I find it inappropriate that what Lala did is Lala got sober. I believe every single day that she's sober, she doesn't have to answer for that time in her life, because what she did was she changed her life.
Yeah.
And I think Tom Sandoval should start. If I was Tom, I would say I'm never drinking again, and I would make that choice, because that's where he would be able to say checkmate to Lala. Would be like, Lala, I've been sober for 3 months. The decisions I made when I was drinking and when I wasn't thinking straight, you of all people should know that there's some empathy during those times. But instead, he focuses on her relationship with Randall. And it's like, no, but Randall didn't want to be on the show.
Yeah, but that's part of his narcissism. Then
Randall came on the show.
Yes.
And then that's when Lala didn't hide away. But Lala didn't hide from that. That's when Lala's actually addressed her truth. That's when she got sober, was when all that hit the fan. Prior to that, she was already sober. But really, that's when she started saying like, okay, I'm sober. I have to tell my truth. What's hard about Sandoval is he's 3 months sober. And he still can't say, I see why, because Raquel was a part of our friend group, why this is impacting all of you. But sorry.
Lala is right that he cannot be crucified day after day after day.
No,
it's
but she's
over.
also right to say
they all need to just let it go.
But
They're
that
the ones
doesn't
who
mean
are
they have
caught
to
up
be
in it.
friends.
And I believe that some of them are caught up in it for a reason Tom mentioned, because it's benefiting them
Of course.
financially. So they have their own narcissistic reason.
I don't think narcissism is
I'm
not,
just
that is
saying.
manipulative.
All right. Well, listen,
Narcissism
we
is
beat
when,
that up
no, no.
to it. We beat that like more than
No,
it should.
you're
Let's
still
get
not
on to the
listening.
show.
You need to Google what narcissism means.
I will. We'll talk.
Tom's
Let's
a
have a separate.
narcissist.
Let's have a separate that. Could you date anybody who didn't know what penne was?
No.
No. I mean,
And
that was
anyone who thinks that they could is a narcissist.
my...
Because
I
no
like how
one
you brought
could
that
date,
back.
no sane individual, unless they think that they know everything about everything, could date someone that doesn't know what penne is.
I know. Now tell me, could you sit there in that situation with the people who've done you wrong, one way
Okay.
or the other, with your back to them and try to breathe?
On
Because
which
all I
side?
can
Who did
think-
what wrong?
No. I'm asking if you could do that with people. I know there are some people in
Oh,
my
I
life.
thrive in those conflict situations.
I know there are some people in my life right now I could not do that with, even if
Oh,
it was for the camera.
What are
and
you
even
talking
if I was
about?
getting paid.
Why not? You would sit there and tell exactly what you would say. They're the ones that would run away because they wouldn't be able to hear the truth.
I wouldn't be comfortable with them inside my physical space. How's that?
Touching you, you mean?
No, like when they had to go back to back outside with the breathing
I get it, but you couldn't
exercises.
look at those people in the face right now and tell them exactly what you feel. I just don't think you can meditate.
I couldn't meditate is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay, but you could be around them.
Yeah, but
it
I
just would be a
can't.
different tone, different delivery, different
what
words.
I'm saying is I couldn't be back to back to them and try to breathe and connect with them. I don't have that capacity. If what Scheana and Lala, etc., and James, if what they're feeling is real, that is why I think Scheana did have such a hard time with it, because it is real to Scheana.
It is, but it's one incident that changed the course of her friendship with someone. From what I believe, or at least what I know, people you're talking about, it's not one incident. I think we have to remember that this was one big incident. Now, if Tom consistently did different things to them for like 20 years, I don't know if Scheana would be sitting back to back getting paid to do it.
Yeah. Well,
I hated that for Scheana, though.
I
was
too.
so upset.
I hated it.
I was
for Scheana.
screaming and yelling. I was screaming and yelling in my apartment, going, "These fucking producers! I can't believe that they are forcing this.
Yes,
like it's sick."
I believe they did it to Scheana purposely, because I do think it's never about Scheana on the show. I do. I just happen to be there. I think Scheana is always the one who feelings and she's always disregarded in a lot of ways. Scheana, I felt very sympathetic.
Herself.
She doesn't help herself, but
I was so happy for Ariana to be on Dancing with the Stars, even though I wanted Dancing with the Stars.
And you don't think that has narcissistic tendencies?
No, I think a narcissist would be someone that would say, I was supposed to be on Dancing with the Stars, but because of what happened with Sandoval, Ariana
don't you think Scheana's kind of outgrowing the group? Not Scheana. Ariana's success is making her outgrow the group.
Of course.
Yeah, totally. I mean, she's got a book out, and the book was a little quick. The book was a little quick.
What do you mean?
The book, the drinking book, the single, white female.
What do you mean?
Book.
She has 2 books with Tom's. She wanted to write a book.
It was quick. That's what I'm saying. This was 3-4 months after the thing. She jumped on everything. There was not one opportunity that she didn't take advantage of, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
She was the one cheated on. She's the only one that's actually entitled to taking every opportunity.
She did take every. I'm not dissing her. I'm just saying she is taking every opportunity available to her.
She also has gotten all these opportunities and made all this money without talking. She doesn't talk about Tom when she does them.
No, she doesn't, but she's taking every opportunity.
That's why Tom doesn't have a problem with her. You will never hear out of Tom's mouth, Ariana, I'll never talk to her again, even though what I did to her was bad. She's capitalized so much by dragging me. No, she's capitalized so much by being the one who was cheated on.
Totally. No,
the
totally.
others have capitalized on dragging Tom.
Okay, did you think they looked ridiculous in the gondola ride? Because I did. They looked ridiculous. 2 are dressed like they're going to Hawaii. The other ones, I have no idea.
It's a gondola, not a gondola.
Oh, you know what? There's a gondola is what's in the sky, and a gondola is this. But
I
they're
know.
spelled the same way. I want you to know. It's all about where you do the
Remember when
inflection.
Garcelle and Sutton went on the gondola and the guy
Yeah.
started singing and they weren't prepared for it?
Yes. I love that. I've been there. We talked about that, but it was crazy. And Brock was intoxicated, and they were dressed. I don't know what they were dressed for. They did finally get to the beach, and James has to jump off into the water. It's only a matter of time before he's quadriplegic. I'm
I
just
wanted
saying.
Brock and Sandoval to get into a fight in the
Me
gondola.
too. A little bit. I
I
did a
wanted to
little
see it
bit.
shake and like be.
I
I
did.
was so
I
curious.
expected.
Brock's
I
a
think
big dude.
Brock is a big dude,
He reminds me of someone close to you.
yes, and Sandoval could not take him in any capacity. The
No,
only
I
thing
know,
he
but
could
that's the
do
feeling I
is
got because
kind
I
of
get
like
that
get
feeling around.
away.
That's how I get around someone in your life. Is I'm always like, oh, he's a little scarier than
He's a
others.
little,
No,
he
if
is
he
a little
wanted to be, but
scary.
he's not.
No, I know.
But that's how I feel around Brock. Is like if he ever got really mad,
Yeah.
it would be a little scary for everyone else. I kind of want to see it.
No, you don't.
Why?
You don't. I want to say that this is important, and is that Scheana's anxiety is due to Scheana's obsession with her phone. She's on her social media too much. She's looking. Lala's like, what algorithms are you looking at here? And she's like, well, I do my ads, my mentions.
No, she said the ads, and Lala's
Yeah.
like, "What?
Why?
You
Why
look
do
at
you?
your ads?"
Yeah.
And it
Why do
makes
you
me
do
realize why
that?
Lala's probably in such a good, healthy
Yes.
space.
And I think that's important. And I feel bad for Scheana because all of her anxiety is being heightened
She's like Brad.
by the fact she has to get off that social media. It is having a detrimental effect on Scheana. It's bad.
I
It's
feel that way
bad.
about Brad.
I mean, because every time you've seen her recently, Lala came into bed with her. She's got her phone. She separates from the group. She's on her phone. Now, I get it because the phone is a great distraction if you're somewhere you don't want to be. It's super, super easy to pick it up and just go, ooh, doo,
Well,
doo,
I
doo,
think that
to
Sheena's also
separate
probably on
yourself
her
from
phone
the
waiting for
situation.
texts from her sister and the babysitter and this, that too. Remember, that's not always the case because she's on her
But
phone when she's with Summer Moon.
I understand that, but she's caught up in her algorithms way
Also,
too
Summer
much.
Moon, what a name. It's
But
like
I like
Sailor Moon, like anime.
No, there is a summer moon. It'd be worse if the child's name was Harvest and it was Harvest Moon.
Ah, that's fine.
I
Who's
know.
your mess?
I'm just, I think Scheana's a mess. I do. I think she's very fragile emotionally. I think she stepped away from alcohol thinking that that's her problem. Like, you know how Kyle talks about, I mean, I don't like to cross over shows, but Kyle says,
Why?
but Kyle talks about her sobriety. She says the alcohol was making my anxiety so much worse that I had to step away. And I think Scheana has stepped away, but I think Scheana has real anxiety issues, but they're fueled from social media, not from alcohol. If she gave up social media, she might feel different. That's what I'm saying.
I think that Scheana is also feeling emotions where alcohol used to suppress them.
Yeah. I really feel bad for
but
Scheana.
I don't feel bad
episode.
for her. She needs to get her emotions out. Like
I did feel bad for her when she said the pandemic happened. She had no money. Tom just sent her money and didn't
a PayPal though. That was odd. What year is it? 1996?
No, she said Venmo. I thought
no, she said
Venmo.
PayPal.
Okay, well, it was in her. Maybe that's what he had. They've been friends a long time.
That's a very odd exchange.
But it doesn't matter. He sent her money. Don't lose.
Very pageant world. They like to use PayPal.
Okay, but don't lose what he did. He sent her money because she didn't have any, no strings attached. It was just there. He sent her money. That is a conflict for her because he is her friend.
No, but that's something Ariana should understand because if it was during the pandemic, Ariana knew about it.
And I blame Ariana for not having a little sympathy with saying, Ariana should be saying, I understand that we had a problem, but I'm going to say, if you want to make your peace with Tom, that's fine with me. Ariana needs to do that a little bit.
I think what she needs to say is that I refuse to have a relationship with him don't put yourself in a position where you are too close to him that we can't be friends. So
Agree,
you're
but
your own
she needs,
person and you make your own
but she's
decisions.
not doing that. She's saying to people, if you have any relationship with
When
him,
has she
you
said
are
that though,
done. Well,
really?
she
She
did. She
hasn't.
told, she did with Schwartz.
She did, but like she
She
hasn't.
did.
That's the thing. Ariana doesn't talk about it that much. People talk about it to
Well, I'm
her.
just saying she needs to say to Ariana needs to say with to Scheana
They also
that
need to go to Ariana and be like, let us tell you why we're at where we're at. Like Scheana needs to have a real conversation with Ariana and be like,
yeah,
Ariana,
but
remember?
Sheena's so afraid that she's going to be cut out if she says the wrong word. Because remember, Ariana is at the top of the pyramid right now. She
Okay,
is
but Scheana needs to have the ability to go to Ariana and be like, listen, I don't know the right answer. What do you think I should do? This is how I feel right
because
now.
she knows what Ariana's going to say. She's going to say,
I
I
don't
already
know.
told you.
I don't
If you're
know if
not
she
a
says
friend with
this.
me, you're
Listen,
not a
no,
friend. End of story.
I disagree. I think that
I don't. That's what I see.
think that Ariana can say to Scheana, I don't know what you should do, but all I know is that I don't want any friends that are friends with him. I think that would be a hard answer for Scheana, but I don't think she could get mad at Scheana if Scheana said, listen, it's very difficult. The producers want us to be friends. Lisa wants us to be friends. I remember all the good things he's done for me over the years. I hate him for what he did to you. I
Well,
don't know
you
what
could
I'm
just
supposed to
see
do.
it's very conflicted for her. And you know what? I don't think anybody else in this cast is having the same conflict that she
No, they
is.
don't.
Yeah, they don't.
I think James, if he wasn't with Allie, maybe because him and Sandoval were close, but he has a girlfriend. The dog came back into his life. And James has been very public. And I think James isn't stupid. He wants to ride Ariana's coattails. So he wants to be friends with Ariana. He said it very
Yeah,
much. He's
that's
like,
all.
I'm
Yeah,
team Ariana forever.
yeah, yeah, because it benefits him.
Yeah, he's not stupid.
Yeah.
And he
If it
knows
was
that
on the
Tom is
other side,
not.
he'd be on the other side.
Yeah.
But Scheana is the only one in this group that is completely conflicted because she is Ariana's friend. Ariana was in her wedding. She loves Ariana. They are close, but she's been friends with Tom a long, long time. And
Yeah,
it's
and
hard
he's
for her.
done stuff for her that has nothing to do with like superficial stuff. It's
TV.
like real
It's
shit
nothing to do with TV. Right.
that we never heard about until that now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
All
the
right.
reason why I say that I give Scheana a lot of credit because like she's being really vulnerable. Like she literally in that moment said, I was broke
Yeah.
and he was
Broke.
there for me
Yeah.
because and that's something that I
And
hope
you know
Tom
what?
sees.
Sandoval's broke right now. Different way.
Yeah, of course, but exactly. But what I'm saying is that
I'm just
Tom,
saying.
I hope Tom, I hope Tom sees how selfless that saying that on TV was from Scheana. The fact that she was willing to share with the world that she at one point during the pandemic was broke,
Yeah.
to be able to share some perspective as to why she's open to making peace with Sandoval. I give her a
I
lot of
hope
credit.
Ariana sees that too.
I hope so too. So.
Yeah, because you're only talking about Tom, but Ariana needs to see it too. Because even though this happened to Ariana, she has to understand that everybody has their own different relationships, and she has to have a little leeway.
But I
She can't
don't
be
think
so black and white, line in the
But
sand.
I think you need
She
to
can't
hold
be.
Ariana's hand and remind her that he did that. I don't think that Ariana's going to think of that moment, Scheana, until you remind her.
Yeah, totally.
If
Yeah,
she even knows.
because let's face it, like it or not, Ariana is in her own little protective bubble right now. She's
Yeah,
kind of
and it's a good thing. She doesn't get involved in the drama of Tom. She
No.
just doesn't want to talk about Tom.
But she's sort of like the good witch who just comes in her bubble and doesn't have to be there for any of the hard stuff. Oh,
But I think that it's a hard conversation is Ariana.
Sheena's sort of the one with like, she's like Dorothy. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home.
I just think that like there's this like, I just think that I do believe it will come to a point. I don't think we're there yet where Ariana is going to have to give permission to her friends to handle their situation with Tom, and I think it will be different for everyone. I don't think they're there yet because
it's only a short time, and that's where the issue is. I'm a year past this, but we're in the middle of it just a few months. That's
but also
the problem.
Tom up until this trip hasn't opened up the space to even allow those people in for it even to be a situation with Ariana. He was mad that they were talking about him doing this, doing that. And finally, we're seeing Tom start to understand that, like, okay, they don't hate me per se. They hate what I did. Some of them don't want to be around me. Some of them don't ever want to talk to me. And then some of them will never talk to me, like Ariana. Now, and Katie at that same point too.
Yeah, but
Now,
you know what? Ariana can go on and on and on. Nobody can be his friend. Nobody can be his friend. Nobody can be his friend.
she
They're
hasn't done
still
that
under
though.
the damn freaking roof together.
She
That's my
hasn't done that
problem.
though, really. She
If
hasn't been
if she
tested.
really wants to cut Tom out of her life, move.
She want
If she really wants to cut Tom out of her life, move. Move.
he should move. He cheated on her. Get out of the house. Go rent an apartment until your house situation is resolved. Be a man like Carl Radke on Summer House, who's paying half of the rent in his apartment that he signed the lease a month before he broke off the engagement. So you know what? Their $12,000 a month rent in New York City that they have because they got this insane place. He pays $6,000 a month, and she lives there alone.
Well, but Ariana's paying nothing.
What do you
Just
mean
saying.
she's paying nothing?
Tom's paying all the bills.
That's not true.
I thought they said that. Tom's paying
No,
the bills.
there were bills that he didn't properly send her a bill on, and he just has his assistant or had the assistant
pay the
and
bill.
be like, you owe this amount of money. And what did Ariana say? I want to see the bill.
Oh, okay.
And he won't do that because he thinks it should be the way it always was. And she's like, no, it's not the way it always was.
Yeah, well, they need to figure out that mess though.
I think that what is bothering people is that Ariana doesn't want to get her hands dirty right now. She wants her lawyers getting their hands dirty and she wants to focus on her future. And that bothers people that she doesn't want to get her hands dirty anymore.
I want to tell you, I knew a couple that were getting divorced and they both refused to leave the house. And they said sleeping in the same room. They just brought in another bed and there were two beds in the room instead of one, but they both still stayed in the house in the same room.
That's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was crazy. I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, we just got I got a twin side
Were
bed.
you friends with both of them?
I know both of them.
Were you friends with both of them?
No, just
okay.
one.
That's good. That makes it easier.
That no, it doesn't matter if you were my friend or not my friend or both of them. I would have said that was messed up either way. At least go sleep on the couch. Don't stay in the same room.
Yeah.
They did it so that their kids didn't know that they were going through this. So they maintained sleeping.
Oh, that
in
was
the
kind of
same
nice
room.
of them.
And you
I'm
know,
sure I'm sure the fuck you asshole
I know.
didn't give the kids any hints.
Listen, I'm going to start a little trend that I think is what people should do when they get divorced and they have children in the house. I'm going to start advocating. No, I'm going to start advocating for it.
Oh,
I know
I wanted to give my uncle a heads up.
No,
You said you were going to start.
I think people need to start maintaining the family home and the parents leave and the kids stay there. And one parent is there for 3 or 4 nights and the other parent is there for 3 or 4 nights.
My friends have that in Arizona. My colleague.
Yeah,
she and her husband are divorced.
Do. Yeah.
They have a young daughter.
Yeah.
And they have an apartment in Arizona and they have a house. The daughter stays in the house.
All the time.
They switch from the apartment.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Yep.
It's so good for the daughter.
Yeah, it's so much better for the child. Yeah. The child has there's no reason why the kid should be going back and forth like a luggage.
And if you can't, and if you don't have the ability to do that,
figure it out.
You don't care about your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Give up anything for that. That's what I say.
Because it doesn't take away from you. It just means you have to be a little bit more respectful. It just means you have to think a little bit more. You can still date. You can still bang. You can do all these different things. You can have fun, sexy time.
Outside of the home.
You can take long poops in the bathroom. You can do whatever you want. You just got to be respectful.
Yeah. Totally. Because they're having 2 houses right now anyways when people leave and the kids are going back and forth, back and forth. It's disruptive to the kid. The kid should stay in the house and the parents move.
I love that. Anywho, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.